So hi guys, welcome to this is going to be a three-part series. Oh, hang on. Sorry, bear with me a sec. I'm getting feedback. Sorry. Right. So yeah, hi guys. So this is going to be a three-part series. We've got part one tonight. We have got. I'm just going to have to move this because this is. Sorry, I've. What's happened is I'm using Melon tonight for the streaming software, and I share it with Chris, who is currently streaming on his channel. So I've had to use my own unpaid version. Um, yeah. So basically, right. So this is a three-part series. Now, what I've noticed in the last few months is a couple of companies do mystery boxes. Now, I've dealt with mystery boxes when I was doing figures. There were a couple of companies, one called Asset Drop. I don't think they exist anymore. And what they used to do was every month they would send you one figure, a few little paints, and maybe some basing material or something. Basically, this guy spends all of his time sourcing out stuff, and then he might go, right, I've given you this so that you can do faces, and then he give you a little tutorial, and then you can use the things, and and that's why I've got so many different brands of paints. um, the danger is if you buy something and you don't like it, you've wasted your money. Things like this asset drop box, you would be getting stuff. You'd end up with a good deal out of it. And I've noticed they do them with scale model kits. And as far as I'm aware, there are three places where you can get mystery stuff. I'm saying mystery stuff because one of them is slightly different. Now, tonight we're going to be doing an Airfix unboxing. I can't stream tomorrow because I'm having a COVID jab at 7:45. No politics, please. I'm having my jab. That's the final. So part two will be Friday and part three will be Saturday. Now, the Friday and Saturday is going to be Tomcatters. There's a Facebook group called Tomcatters. I'll show you the group bit later. But they're, do you know what? It's all gone all funny. Here we go. Right. So yeah, it's Tomcatters discount kits. Now I'm hooked on that word. Anything that says discount, cheap, anything like that, I'm hooked on. That's how I got involved. Now I have bought a mystery box from Tomcatters before. I don't know if he does the cheap one anymore. But I think it was £45. It might have been less. And I received three kits. Well, two kits. I received the ICM. They call it the forward base set, and it contains the OB10A Bronco and I can't remember the spec, but the Cobra. And the other box was the Airfix Mustang, both in 1:48 scale, because he does his boxes by scale. If you don't want any 72 scale, you don't get 72 scale. And I thought it was good. I mean, I said to him in jest, I said, "What did these fall off the back of a lorry?" Because I can't understand why they're so cheap. Anyway, so Airfix also do a mystery box, and I've seen them, and there seems to be mixed reviews. So do you know what? I thought I'll buy my own. So let's have a look at what well, to be honest with you, I've got a couple of things to show you as well that I've been buying. There's another trusted seller I buy from, and I have bought, this is going to come to my channel one day. I've got to hold it this way because it's so big. I probably shouldn't have bought it because the last ship I made was a bit of a disaster. But this is the CV8 Hornet. The reason I bought this was because I'm really fascinated by the Doolittle raid. The other one I bought was this recently came out from Airfix, and I'm very interested in it, but it doesn't do the version that I want. Excuse me, sorry. Now, it turns out that Extra Decals I've brought out, are bringing out a set of decals for the version that I want. So I bought the kit ready. And this is a very, very hot kit at the moment. but I will be doing this, but it's not ready to be built because I want to do the yellow 202 Squadron one. I've got a couple of other kits that I can't show you because they're being used for projects later on. I've got a little project. I don't want to tell everyone what it is because I don't want other people getting in on the idea until it's ready. But this was bought for the project that I'm doing. I saw it on a YouTube video and it looked quite nice, but I'm not going to be using it. So I've got this, and part of the reason I really like it is not necessarily the Series 1, but the Land Rover. Well, to be more precise, an RAF Land Rover is actually the very first vehicle I've ever driven. Back in the day when I was about 14 years old, I was an air cadet. My stepfather was in the RAF and he used to take me to work sometimes. And a couple of times he let me drive the Land Rover, and it nearly put me off driving forever because it's such a hard vehicle. Well, when you're 14 and your stepdad's mucking around, it's a very hard vehicle to drive. But yeah, that was the first vehicle I've ever driven. And it's just, I just think it's a lovely thing anyway. Right. So I've got a couple of other things coming as well. I want to show you this. I've seen these before, and bear with me. I seem to have mucked up my screen share. Sorry, guys. This is one of the joys of going live. So I have this winging its way to me right now. I've seen these and they just look wonderful. This is an egg plane. This is a 1:72 scale F-14. And it cost me $12.99 plus a little bit of postage. Now, if anyone's never heard of an egg plane, have you ever seen caricatures of people? They draw a portrait of somebody, and what they do is they really exaggerate certain features. Like if you've got a big nose, they'll draw your nose really big. And like if they did one of Prince Charles, they really emphasize the ears. Well, that's basically what an egg plane is. It's emphasized certain features, but it's based on an egg. So you've got the main fuselage there as an egg, and then all the little features. You know, even though it doesn't look like an F-14, you know that's an F-14, and they do some other ones as well. Oh, hang on, what's going on there? There we go. So that one there looks like an F4 to me. That one looks like an F-18. That's obviously the space shuttle, so you can't see it very well. And that one on the end, that I'm guessing that's an F-16. But yeah, they look like fun little builds. So, right. Lord Peter Webster, looks like an exciting build, Penny. Tell you what, let's do a quick catch up. David, why is my screen so small? That's better. So David JM says hello, Penny. Smith Speed says hi all. David JM, hello, Smith Speed. You know what everyone's like. They all say hello to everyone because my viewers are all wonderful people. They're all saying hi to everyone. But yeah, Lord Pete Webster says, looks like you have an exciting kit. Now, right, I'm going to have to try and remember what that last one. Right, so I'm going to show you the unboxings that I'm not going to do first. Now, this is Tomcatters Discount Kits. This is their Facebook group. There is a link in the description below. But this is what the page will look like. And then you can see I've just advertised my stream tonight. And then he posts various posts. I really like that TSR2. I want to build it. You know, it doesn't fall into any of my interests at all. I'm really not into RAF aircraft quite so much, but that just really looks nice. And then people will post, sometimes they post funny stuff. Sometimes they post pictures of their latest builds. Now, this is what we're dealing with. I I've lost it. Sorry, guys. Right, this is an old post. I can't find the most recent post, but they do. You can get a £75 box, you can get 150, and you can get a 200. Maybe Matt will confirm that. Now, one of the good things I like about Tomcatters is you can choose which box you want. So you could have, for example, a 350 scale ship box. You could have a 1 to 72 scale aircraft box. You can have a 1 to 48 scale. This is why I've ordered 2, which is perhaps going to give Tomcatters a slight disadvantage because I do favour the 1 to 48 scale kits. So I will have a box of pure 1 to 48 scale, and I will have a box of pure 1 to 72. The theory that I've got is that the 1 to 72 scale one will contain more boxes, more kits, and the 48 scale will have boxes that I like, scale that I like. So let's have a look at the Airfix mystery bundle, and this is all we actually know. So it's £74.99, which for all intents and purposes £75. Now I'll just pause for a minute. I am going to do, and I'm going to make this very clear, I'm going to be doing an opinionated rating. By opinionated, it means what I like. So for example, if Matt was to send me a box of Spitfires, I would go, absolutely terrible box, don't like it. You know, if he sent me like 8 Spitfires, all from different brands. Now, there may be somebody else out there that would look at that and go, oh my God, I need that box. I love Spitfires. So basically, I'm not going to do like a 1 to 10 scale rating. All I'm really going to do is I'm going to look at certain areas and I'm going to give a tick to whichever one comes out best, in my opinion. So the first area is the price. Now, this is let's call it £75. However, I am an Airfix Club member, so I got 10% off that. So there's a tick there. Airfix's £75 box is actually cheaper than Tomcatters' £75 box. May not be a big thing. Now, here's another tick for them. You can pay in 4 installments of £18.75 using ClearPay. Now, maybe not everybody will have £75 just like that. But if you haven't, you can use ClearPay and buy the Airfix one, and you can pay it over 4 months. So by the time you basically, theoretically, you could have painted and made all the models before you finish paying for them. Right, so let's have a look at the product info. This Airfix mystery box deal is for anyone looking to start their aircraft kit model collection. Right, so let's just break that down. Anyone looking to start their Airfix kit model collection. Well, I think that's a bit of a sensible thing for Airfix to say, because the more Airfix kits you already own, the more chance you're going to have of having a duplicate. Now, this is where a tick is probably going to go in favor of Tomcatters. Tomcatters have access to all manufacturers. So if you like a Taliari, Hasegawa, you could get some of those. Whereas this Airfix box, you will only get Airfix kits. So if you already have Airfix kits, the chances of getting a duplicate is quite high. So if you are brand new to the hobby, this is a good box because it's a good way to start your model collection. This box contains a random selection of 4 aircraft kits from a variety of areas or locations. I'll come back to that because I think that's a slight fib. I don't have a business management degree, but I have some ideas on, you know, sensible ways to run business. So I will come back to that. So at up to half the price of buying each item separately, this is a great value way to get your model aircraft collection started. Kits in this bundle are subject to change. image for representation purposes only. Actual products received may differ from shown. So up to half the price of buying each kit. So we could get up to £150 worth of kits. When they say up to, it means we could get less. That's kind of a disclaimer for them. Kits in this bundle are subject to change. Well, yeah, if they run out of products, they will change it. So here's where I think they're fibbing. I won't say lying. It says a random selection of 4 aircraft kits. Then it says our mystery bundles are a set selection of items from available stock. Only when an item is out of stock will be replaced by another mystery item. So how can it be random and it's a set selection? So here's my theory, is that they have 4 kits that perhaps aren't bestsellers. So chuck them in a mystery box, get rid of them. Now, let's say, I keep saying Spitfire, but let's say they run out of Spitfires. They need to send out 4 kits because they're promising 4 kits. So then they look at their next lowest seller. So it might be I can't think what they do. The Land Rover Series 1 pickup. So they chuck that one in. And then once something else runs out, now my understanding is that there is a set selection. So if you and somebody else bought this random kit at exactly the same time, there's a very high chance you'll get the same kits. But it does say you may not receive a variety of items for multiple purchases. So if you bought 4 kits, 4 of them, so just a sec, I've just had a message come up which might be important. So yeah, if you bought 4 boxes, mystery boxes, you may not get the same because they might have 3 items of something and you need 4, so they'll put a new item in. So basically, in a nutshell, this is a little bit cheaper than Tomcatters, and it's a little bit more restricted because it's Airfix. So yeah, I think that was what I was going to say about it. So let's have a look at the box. No, Love Minis, hello, how are you? I've asked Love Minis if she's able to. There we go. Yeah, they would pick out 4 kits that are to their advantage. Yeah, of course they are. Their latest kit, I mean, I'm not expecting to get the Sea King in it because it's a new hot kit. It's selling at full price. Why would they give it in a discounted box? Now, I've asked Love Minis to do me a favor. Love Minis is going to, when I unveil the kits, she's going to look them up on ScaleMates for me, and she's going to find the cheapest price for me. I'm not going to use Airfix. Well, I will look at Airfix prices, but we won't use those because, you know, it's like me. If I sold something to you, let's put me on stream. If I sold you this this mug, right, and I put it on sale on my website for £50, right, and then I discounted it to £10, I'm still making a profit, aren't I? Because it's probably cost me £1. Now, if I said I'll give you a mystery mugs and I'll give you 3 of these for £25, you're going to go, wow, I've got £150 worth of mugs. But if someone else is selling that same mug for a £5, are you really getting a deal? So we all know Airfix kits, the cheapest way to buy Airfix kits is to buy them not from Airfix. So yeah, so that's a mystery box there. So shall we have a look? I think we should. So yeah, Mark Fitz says won't be the best sellers unless you're very lucky. I think it's got to be miraculous to get that. Right, so here it comes. I've been waiting. I've been sitting on this box for over a week. Do you know how hard it's been to not open it? Right, so this is the Airfix box. It's not small. and it's got 4 kits in. So that suggests to me that there's got to be some big kits in there. So maybe definitely some 1 to 48 scale. I did work out their ratio of 1 to 72 to 1 to 48, and I think it's something like they've got 2 or 3 1 to 72 scale kits for every 1 to 48. So obviously it's loaded in the favor of 1 to 72, which is not my preferred scale. Right, let's do a cut. And the first thing we see is drum roll. We've got a big bundle of bubble wrap. So we're not there yet, guys. So let's have a look. I'm just going to pull that out. That's an invoice. I know what I paid. Oh, surprise ruined, because I've just seen through some of the bubble wrap. So I want to try and open this carefully. Oh, no way, guys. No way. Sorry, I can see through some of the bubble wrap. I can see what 2 of the kits are. Right. I'm actually quite excited. Actually, I'm mixed emotion. Oh, talking of cats, it's Shadow's first birthday today. So I went out and I bought him a cuddly stick of dynamite that apparently has got catnip in it. And I also got him a spray of catnip. I've never seen this before. You spray catnip onto like one of his toys and it makes it all catnipy. And I also bought him some whitefish, which I've cooked up, made him a special dinner, and he's just turned his nose up at it. So, right, guys, this is really, really exciting. This is actually a kit that I wanted to buy when it came out. It's a fairly recent tooling, I believe. And the reason I want this is it's my mother's favorite aircraft, but it's 1 to 72 scale. So, and as a coincidence, now I think I know why this has been put in. Today, Airfix have announced they've got a new Vulcan come out in the do you know what? It's gone out of my head. Do you know the raids over the Falklands? Is it the Black Buck raids? So they've actually got them in the Black Buck raids colours with the missile that they shouldn't have used, but they have used. However, saying that, surely you can get some aftermarket parts for it. But look, that's a really lovely kit. Now, question for you guys. Do you want me to open this and we'll have a look at it? Or do you want me to get the other 3 kits out of the bubble wrap and then we will do... we will have a look in the boxes. It's up to you. So I'll give you a minute. But yeah, Vulcan, I'm really, really happy with that kit. Very, very happy with that kit. Let's tell you what, let's put a second one out. Oh God. I'm going to put all out first, right? Okay. So the second kit, I'm sorry, guys. When I say this, I'm going to get dislikes for this. I'm not a fan of the Spitfire. It's just that there's so many Spitfires out there, and yeah, and this is my second kit. I mean, it might be a really nice kit, but I just think that it's Spitfire. There's more to kit model worlds than Spitfire, but this is the one that sells, isn't it? And I know people are going to hit the dislike button now. But yeah, second kit out of the box. Third, I'm now actually this third kit. Not only is it 1 to 48 scale, it is actually a kit that I'm interested in. the Havilland Tiger Moth. That's actually a nice kit. That's a kit that I would be interested in. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, this fourth kit makes me quite angry. And I will explain why. The BAE Hawk XX154 first and last. I do already own this. The reason I own it, you look up there, this is a club kit. When you join the Airfix club, you get an exclusive kit. And this is that word. That's why I'm angry. It's exclusive. I joined because you get a kit that when I joined Airfix, I'd noticed that the previous year's kit was a Japanese K, and I know I cannot buy that kit anywhere because it's exclusive to the Airfix club, and it's too late to join that year, so I'd never get it. I've lost out on that. This is what came in my first year of being an Airfix member, and I thought that was really nice, and I do plan to build it, but I've got 2 of them now. And then this year they've done a Gloucester Gladiator. So the reason I'm angry at this, I can buy this. They do have some kits and products for sale in the Airfix site only for club members. You have to log in, and that's the only way you get access. And I can buy this for $11.99. What I'm a little bit upset about is I've got this in a mystery box. So what that means to me is someone who is not a club member could spend their £75 and get an exclusive kit. So now I'm asking the question, what is the point in me joining the Airfix club if I can get this through mystery boxes? Obviously, I might not get it because it's, but is that a fair comment, guys? This is $11.99 to me. I can't get it anywhere else other than Airfix, so that will be $11.99. Love Minis, have you come up with any prices? This looks like a Series 2 kit. Oh, also this one, I just want to double check. Yeah, you don't get, what do they call it? Airfix miles. You don't get flying hours with the exclusive kits. There's no flying hours for this one. The Spitfire, you get 1 flying hour. So obviously you can put them towards your free kits. The Tiger Moth comes with 1 flying hour, and the Vulcan comes with 4 flying hours. So Lord Pete Webster says, I totally agree, being an Airfix member too. Good. I'm glad I'm not alone on that one. So the next thing I want to look at is there's a couple of little sections I want to do is how many kits you get for your money. So in this case, we get 4 kits. And how many kits would I buy? Well, the answer for me is 2. I would buy that. Definitely would buy that. It's just been reduced in price. Was it £75? Reduced to about 50. And today we know why, because they've just brought a new version out. But I would value this at £50, not 75, because I could buy it for 50. But that I would definitely buy. This one I would buy. This one I've made it very clear I wouldn't buy it. I probably wouldn't buy it. I recognize this from somewhere. Has this been in a starter set or something? Does anybody know? This one, it looks a fantastic kit, but I wouldn't buy it simply because I don't know. I'm in the process of reorganizing. I don't think no, I have got that kit, but I haven't got it here underneath my shelf. So 4 kits, 2 kits I would buy. So 2 kits for 75. I don't know how much those 2 kits would cost. Sorry, someone's. Oh, I've actually got Matt on Facebook. I'll be honest with you, I've invited Matt on. It looks like he can't make it. And he's just said, am I going live with the unboxing on Friday? So I said, yes, I am. I've got a funny feeling Matt's going to be a little bit naughty. I've said to him, please send me mystery box as though I'm an unknown customer, because if I do these unboxings live, someone sees this video and then goes, oh wow, that looks fantastic, I'm going to buy it, and Matt's given me extra kits, then this person's going to be disappointed. So I said I want exactly what I would buy, what I would get if I buy. Right, so let's get rid of my face on this camera. We'll go face down and we'll have a look inside the boxes. Video. There we go, guys. That's my hand. That's what my hands look like. So let's do this one first. Nice kit, but I wouldn't buy it. So now, obviously, I've seen this, and one of the reasons I like, I mean, these are both exactly at the same registration mark. So you've got the first one, first flight at Dunsfold Airfield, Surrey, England, August the 21st, 1974. I was 2 years old. And then you've got, what I find interesting, that was a Hawk Siddeley, but suddenly it's changed to British Aerospace, but I think that's to do with company takeover. But this is now the Empire Test Pilot Skull, Ministry of Defence, Boscombe Down, Wiltshire, England, 21st of August 2019. So what you get is two identical kits, absolutely identical, nothing different about them, and you get the instruction sheet, and there should be in the middle, there we are, one big decal sheet for both. And there are, of course, there's 4 instrument panels. Well, of course there are. It's a trainer. You've got one for the front, one for the back. So yeah, plenty of a lot of decals for 1 to 72. So Love Minis has been doing the research on the prices, and it says that because she's in the US, it's $89. Okay, we'll have a little look at the prices later on then. Right, so that's that. I can't remember how the instructions went. Is it one set of instructions and that covers both? To be honest with you, nothing exciting about these. These are standard Airfix instructions, aren't they? Quite low detail in the cockpit, and the decal sheets obviously help. But they do tend to be quite low detailed in the cockpits, don't they? But yeah, it looks all right. The kit looks lovely. Yeah, look, it's one instruction, but obviously because they're both identical kit. And there's the colors and markings. I mean, this is just typical Airfix, isn't it? Done quite nicely. The color call outs are there. And there's your trainer version, your first version. I'm only going to open one of these bags, guys, because we know they're both identical. So there's no point opening both, is there? So now, I'm not a big expert on kits. I know you can see some shows and they'll tell you all about this, that, and the other. I'm just going to tell you what I see. So that looks like that standard Airfix color to me. That's but the details are really nice. I'm sorry about the focus. Nice detail on it. So if you apply a wash to it, it's going to make that detail stand out. So that's really nice. I'm not even going to describe what these are, but that looks like the cockpit and the seats. That's okay, isn't it? That looks fine. That's really nice. And it's quite a hard, yeah, it is quite a hard plastic. Bottom of the wing is done in 2 parts. Top of the wing is done, sorry, bottom of the wing is done in 1. Top of the wings is done in 2 parts. It seems most kits are done that way. Why can't I put that on? because that one goes on that side and that goes on that side. So yeah, most of them seem to be done that way. A couple of little bits there that could come off very, very easily. But yeah, I mean, look, if you look at the undercarriage, that detail looks pretty adequate for 1:72 scale. Obviously, if that was 1:48 scale, I would probably be scoffing at that. But for 72 scale, I think that's pretty good, actually. And there's enough detail on there, you can make that pop. This is one of those kits that I would say you can take this kit as high or low as you want. You can just glue it together and paint it, and it's a good model. You can do all your weathering and any modifications you want to do, and it will look even better. So let's have a look at the clear parts. Oh, I saw someone doing unboxing of a Spitfire today. Poor guy, all the canopy was scratched. That, I like that. They printed that upside down. Can you see? Because they've done it upside down, what's the chances of scratching that canopy? Because the canopy's not making any contact with the ground. This bit could be scratched, but that's the bit that you're going to be gluing. That is a nice little touch, actually. Excuse me. Painting that is going to be a nightmare, isn't it? I don't think I will paint it because that's going to be too hard for me. So that is a very good kit for the money. $11.99 for 2 kits. I'm really happy with that kit. I mean, I was happy with it before. I looked more, but yeah, and the decals. Let's have a quick look. I know they do tell you some information on the boxes, don't they? So, model design and tooling 2009, decal schemes and pack designs 2021. So obviously 2021, they printed these decals for the 2022 club. And that's what you'd expect. That the copyright would probably be 1 year before. Excellent. I've got some fantastic news, guys. Right, on Friday, sorry to sort of go off track a bit. So on Friday, I'm going to be doing the Tomcatters unboxing. I will definitely be joined by Matt, who runs Tomcatters. He says, I'll definitely jump in on Friday, Penny. If viewers have any questions, I can answer them. Just had a very long day and need to put my feet up and unplug. 771 subs. That's great. How long have we been on YouTube? I've been on YouTube very, very long, actually, for someone with 771 subs. But the excuse that I use is my subject on YouTube is a little bit more niche. If I played computer games, I might be up to 15,000 subs by now. I do a lot of part works mainly, and that's kind of, you know, but I've always said, actually, I'd rather have a few quality subscribers than thousands of subscribers that don't really do much. Yeah, anyway, guys, so a lot of decals, I think, for the scale of the aircraft. So the very lucky David JM says, I won this kit on Moss Auction. It is one kit in my stash I will keep. Yeah, I'm a little bit lucky that I can. Well, I've unzipped both of them now, but I can keep that. Right, let's have a look at my least favorite kit, which is the Spitfire Mark VC. I think you'll probably find this is an $11.99 kit as well. What are we up to so far? 11, let's call it 12. And what did we say the Vulcan was? 45. So the other one we need to look up the price of is this de Havilland Tiger Moth. It's A04104. So if someone could find me the cheapest price for that, and then we can do a comparison. Right, so let's have a look at this. So this is I'm terrible with Roman numerals. So you can all laugh at me while I try to interpret this. Oh, that's easy enough. Supermarine Spitfire Mark 5C. That's something I personally don't get. C would be the third version of Mark 5. Is that like when you have Windows 3.1.2.1.0, where they do little variations? But, you know, surely the third version of the fifth would be Mark 8, wouldn't it? So, yeah. 7. Mark 7. I don't know. But is that Mark 5C? So, I don't know. Right. Let's do the outside of the box first. So this is Model Design and Tooling 2020, Decal Schemes and Pack Design 2020. I forgot to say, actually, this other one is, and I think you know this is coming because I think all Airfix are the same, Cartograph decals, so we know it's going to be pretty good. So this one, again, is Cartograph decals, and I can see that there's 2 versions to make. One is an American version and one is a British version. And do you know what? When I come to build this, I'm going to do this a US version. 307th Fighter Squadron, 12th Air Force, United States Army Air Force, La Siena, Algeria, November, December 1942. I am doing another Spitfire, which I'm doing in specific. I've got some aftermarket decals. Right, so I can see straight away that plastic wise, forget the shapes, but it looks just like the Hawk. That plastic is that bluey grey plastic. So decals. Oh, again, I think that's quite a lot of decal for the version. That color, guys, would you be happy with that? That looks a bit orange to me. Not. It's a good job I'm doing the American version then, isn't it? So is that a defect or is that how it comes? Yeah. See, that's not the fault of the mystery box. That's the fault of the model. But there we go. Right. So the versions. Oh, they're actually printed in the instructions. So that's the British version. So if I was to do the RAF version there, I think I would have to learn how to do, you know, how some people, they cut masks and they actually paint them on. I would have to do that. Even I wouldn't put up with that. That's definitely orange. I'm looking at my monitor and let's have a look. Sorry, spit number. No, this is A02108. If we get a focus. I've got some exciting news, guys. I'm getting a new webcam, but I'm not getting a webcam. I'm actually getting a camcorder. Right. So my quality is... oh, they're all $11.99. What? Even the Tiger Moth is $11.99. Are you sure? That seems an awful lot of kit for $11.99. But of course, the cheaper the kit is, the worse it makes the mystery box. Right, instructions. Again, that looks pretty much the same as, you know, the style. You know what you're getting with Airfix, don't you? To be honest with you, that don't looking at the cockpit. Actually, that don't look an awful cockpit, does it? Do you know what? This kit might actually change my mind on Spitfires. I might start to enjoy Spitfires. Oh, can you imagine that? Penny enjoying Spitfires. So, a couple of options there. I do like when you have options. But the trouble with options is that you go, oh, which one do I want? Oh, I know. I'll go and buy another kit and I'll build the same thing again, but with a different option. I'd like to know how strong that undercarriage is. Would I be better off perhaps doing this in flight? Oh, you've got options with the propeller. How does that work? Oh, I see. You've got different nose spinners and different... Oh, do you know what? I'm going to have to do research on this, aren't I? Why would you want to pick that one or that one? Different propeller blades and different nose spinners. Yeah, it's a Mark 5C. If it was like a Mark 5 or a Mark 7, I could understand why they'd have different propellers, but different propellers on the same mark. I don't know. I don't generally do pilots. I can do pilots, but I generally don't. And nearly always never would do pilots with a propeller-driven aircraft. I just don't like having a propeller-driven aircraft looking like it's flying because your propellers aren't going down. So I nearly always do them undercarriage down. See, I would probably do that canopy open. But I do like that version, actually. I do like that American version. The Tiger Moth is a 1:48 scale. That's why I'm querying the $11.99 price. I just think that's too cheap. Right, so let's have a quick look at sprues. So we have got as many sprues in this bag for one kit as we've got in the two Hawks, which I think is quite interesting. So we've got 4 main sprues for one kit, and we've got 4 main sprues for 2 Hawks. So Dominique says, I hope that was a cat. My living room door just closed on its own, and I thought either I've got a poltergeist or we've got a cat pushing it shut. Right, so basically my main comments about this are exactly the same as the Hawk. Nice detail on there. I know there'll be people watching this going, oh, that's inaccurate, blah blah blah. What I'm looking at is can I bring that detail out, you know, a little bit of wash, and I think that would look really nice once it's detailed. I always I'm building all my aircraft as what I describe as old but looked after, like a museum piece. There we go, £24. So Smith Speed says it's £24. Right, so yeah, that makes more sense. So actually it's cheaper because 1:72 scale to 1:48 isn't double the size, it's actually quadruple. In fact, actually it's 8 times the size, because you've got twice the width, twice the depth, twice the height. So you're getting a hell of a lot more plastic for it. So there's the 2 nose cones. As you can see, they're extremely different. So I'm going to have to do some research, because they've given us the option, but they haven't told us anything about the options. Looks like we've got different exhausts there. Got 4 exhausts there. But it all looks very, very, very nice. Very small parts for a 1:72 scale. Wheels, I don't like these wheels. I like my wheels to be separate from the undercarriage, but that's a personal preference. It looks like we've got 2 different seats. So yeah, and the propeller blades, oh, these are short and stumpy, and these are long and slender. So I'm going to guess the long and slender, it's got to be the English one, isn't it? So yeah, no, I'm liking that. Look how dinky it is. Look, very dinky, but some nice. Now that looks like that's the door. So if I was a bit clever, I could cut that and I could make an opening door. I'm not going to. I don't trust my skills yet on that. Oh yes, no. Oh, I see. I thought it was the clipped wing version, but it's not. It's the way it goes into there. So this kit, as a kit, I'm happy with. You know, if this was a subject matter that I was more interested in, I'd go, oh yeah, it's really good. So I'll say it's a nice Spitfire. If any of you experts want to disagree with me, you are more than welcome to. You can tell me it's a good kit or a bad kit. That has come out quite nice. I now wish they'll do the canopies like they did the Hawk, because that was a nice canopy. But we've basically, I think what I do, there's a closed canopy there, and there's the open canopy. So if that was scratched to buggery, I've got the option of doing the open canopy. And then obviously if they were scratched to buggery, do you know what? Looking at the way that the sprues are, can you see that? No, you can't, because I've got no bloody focus. So you see that top bit of the sprue there, it's actually higher than the canopy. So it does actually give it some protection. If I was to drop that on there, can you see it's hit the sprue now, but it hasn't hit the canopy. So yeah, maybe there's some slightly good design in here. This is one of the things I found with Airfix. I think old Airfix kits weren't great, and the new ones are much better. So actually, I don't think that's a bad kit for the price and whatnot. Right, so I'm going to take a quick pause there. So we've got what I would say. Right. So Lord Peter Webster says, I have the Airfix 1:72 scale 80th anniversary dam buster. Yeah, do you know what? I did see that in the RAF museum this week, and I was very tempted. It's not cheap. But I thought, well, actually I've got the is it the Hong Kong models 1:48 scale? And yeah, let's build that first, shall we? Right, so the next kit. What do you want, guys? Do you want the Tiger Moth next? And we'll say the big one for last. Tiger Moth, Vulcan, Tiger Moth, Vulcan. I'm really looking forward to that Vulcan, actually. Does anyone know if they do a 1:48 scale Vulcan? Because that would be, I won't say the ultimate, but that would be awesome. One kit that I do want to buy is the 1:48 scale B52 Tiger. Yeah, actually, I'm looking forward to the Tiger as well. So, two versions by the looks of it. Oh, I quite like that one with a little red top. But I also like that one with a yellow stripe, because that'll stick out, won't it, in your model shelf. So this is the Royal Air Force Central Flying School Acrobatic Team, the Shuttleworth collection. Now I'm tempted to go for that one, because the Shuttleworth collection is one, it's in Duxford, isn't it? And I've been there. I actually used to fly from there, not from Duxford, but I used to fly from, when I was in Air Cadets, we used to do the air experience flights from Cambridge. And there was one day, it was actually rained off. We couldn't fly. So our teachers took us to the Shuttleworth collection instead. And do you know what my biggest regret is? They had the, I don't know if you still got it, they had the Concorde there, and you could walk through the Concorde. And I actually didn't do it, and I wish I had. And the first thing I said when I saw that Concorde was, oh, it's a lot smaller than I thought. But yeah, and this one is from Headcorn Aerodrome, Kent. This is the words, I hate this. Contents may vary from those illustrated. So what that says to me is that I'm expecting a Tiger Moth, but we could get another Spitfire in this, because the contents may vary from those illustrated. Right, so skill 2, there you go, data. So this is, God, the writing's gone fuzzy. I'm going to take my glasses off. Model Design and Tooling 2019, Decal Schemes and Pack Design 2019. So all of these are fairly recent kits. They're not like really old kits, are they? I like that. I do like that. I think that's the version I would do. Peter Webb says, I have a limited edition medal number 22 of my kit. Oh, do you know what? I'll show you something at the end of the stream. I've started collecting coins from the Westminster collection, and I've got a Lancaster one. And apparently it's it's either part of the Lancaster, or it was taken by a Lancaster during the actual Dam Busters raid. Mark Fit, done Concorde, very small. I had the duck walking along inside, and I'm only 5'4". Yeah, I remember saying it was. Oh, where's my focus gone, guys? What's going on with my camera? There we go. Right, so de Havilland Tiger Moth. And guess what? Plastic's the same. Oh, that looks quite nice. Right, paperwork. Oh, look at those decals. Do you know what? I'm really not sure what to do now. I like those yellow stripes. No, I'm definitely going to go for that one. But that's a lot of decals, isn't it? That's going to be a real skill in decals. I think I'm up to the task, because if it's around, sorry, where I move things to tidy things, things end up where they shouldn't be. But yes, I've got it. So this is an off-stream build. I've been working on this for about 2 or 3 years, but this is my Sky Raider, and there's so many firsts on this. But the decals here, they were so tricky. And I got to be honest with you, if I didn't have Microsol and Microset, I probably would never have done it. This was quite tricky because it's 2 decals. I think it's the same on the other side. But it was a real challenge with the decals. I'm going to say it's the first, so many firsts. This is my first weathering. I haven't done the actual washes yet. I've got to do another clear coat, but I'm really pleased with how the sun bleaching's turned out. This particular one, I did this version because this is the one that shot down the MiG. I think it's the only prop aircraft that has shot down a jet. Also, I can't tell which one it was, which is a testimony to my skills. One of these exhausts snapped off, and I built a new one. I even drilled the hole in the end, and I was really pleased with that. This is why I need a new camera, because that can't focus very well. But yeah, that was a real challenge with those decals. I think that took me 4 or 5 hours to get those done. And some of these, especially around about here, and I think this one, I think I put about 6 or 7 coats of whichever one was the second Microsol. I think it's Microsol is the setting one, isn't it? Whereas the set is the putting it on. But yeah, really pleased with that. So I think, I'm speculating, these might actually be a lot easier to do, but they'll be fun to do. Right, so instructions. I think we know what these are going to look like, don't we? I think they're going to have the same. Yeah, they've got the same look and feel as the previous 2 kits. Couple of nice little panels. Look, you've got an option to have that panel open. So there's an option for me, because remember, this is a prop aircraft. So I will do it with no pilot, and I will have it on the ground. I don't know if there's any pilots with it. But see, also by not doing all the pilots, you can cut the pilots off, stick them into a little spares bucket, and anytime you need a pilot, you can just pull one out and see which one fits the best. Yeah, now here's my challenge. Cabling. For experienced modelers who may wish to add them to their model, the positions of the many bracing wires and control cables are indicated in the following steps: 35 to 42. Yeah, cables. Now, I've never done, well, I've done a simple version, but what I've been told many years ago, don't go out and buy cables. All you have to do, and I'm going to actually demonstrate this, because I have a little box of sprues. So rather than, where's my trimmers? See, again, I'm suffering from put something down and can't find it again. I had some sprue. Here we are. Right, so rather than go out and buy cables, get yourself a piece of sprue. This is why I keep a lighter in my toolkit. Light the sprue in the middle. Don't let it catch fire. And then what you do is you pull it. And the faster you pull it, the thinner that cable comes. I'm guessing 99% of you know this already, but that is the cheapest form of cable you will ever find. And it's nice and stiff, and it comes from sprues, so it hasn't cost you any money. So we'll see what happens. But I've never done it before. I've actually got another model somewhere, and it does come with cables, and I'm really not sure. But this is what have they listed as a skill level? Skill level 2. So coincidentally, ooh, so these two kits are exactly are as hard as each other. According, no, hang on, isn't the skill level? Isn't that got something to do with the parts more than how complex it is? Yeah, look at all of that. That's not a tomorrow build, is it? I'm not building that tomorrow. So I think what I'll do is, let me see if I can find it. Oh, see, I put things down. Right, so I have got a model of the PT2, is it the Sturman PT2, PT4? It's the plane that was flown in Independence Day. Do you remember the guy at the beginning of the movie and he was doing the crop dusting? It's that plane. And it's no decals, none at all. It's paint it red, do a bit of dry brushing, and it's done. There's a few other colors, but it does actually come with a cabling. Now that kit cost me just a couple of quid on eBay. So I think I'll do that kit before I do this tiger moth, and that will be the practice that I need for cabling. So let's have a look at the sprues. I think this is going to go the same way, isn't it? The same as the other two kits. It's going to be nice detail, plenty of sprues. I mean, this is a 1:48 scale. Have you noticed out of these three kits that I've done so far, you know, when sometimes you open the box and then there's a piece falls out because it's fallen off the sprue? We've not had that so far. So Airfix at least have done something right. Right, let's have a look at, oh, I don't like that. You see those squiggly lines? Now, is that detail or is discoloration on the wing? We'll find out once we come to prime it. But yeah, it could be a problem. But the detail is nice. It actually looks fabricy, doesn't it? It doesn't look like a piece of plastic. It looks like it's fabric. If I paint that nicely, I think that will look really, really nice. And look at the detail there. It actually looks like proper. It looks like there's lumps under there covered in fabric. So you've almost lost the detail because of the fabric. I like that. That's a real good point. That's really nice. And of course, a little wash over that, that's going to come up really nice. Hello. You can come in on the action, are you? So yeah, all the little bits, seats, dials. Now, I think they're dials. I'm guessing they're accurate. Because remember, this is a World War I type aircraft. They probably only had 3 dials: speed, height, and revs. I don't know. Whereas these modern aircraft, at the RAF museum, I looked inside the cockpit of the Tornado. There is like 1,000,000 buttons and dials and things. I got no idea. How can you understand all of them when you're in the middle of combat? But yeah, these early aircraft, that's pretty much all you had, wasn't it? Most of it was done by levers. You know, you knew what you were doing by the levers in this particular position. Wow, look how small it is. That's 1:48 scale. Can you imagine that in 1:72 or even 144? That engine, I like that. That's really nice. There's a couple of lumps on the end. I don't know if that's, oh no, that's actual sprue, isn't it? Those two bits on the end. That's, do you know what? I'm actually going to look forward to building that. And here's a piece that's a real plus for me. Look at those canopies. No masking required. How good is that? So, yeah. Do you know what? What's quite funny is there's two kits. There's a kit in here. This particular one I said I would buy. And then there's the Spitfire that I said I wouldn't buy. Now that I've looked at the kits, I would be more inclined to have bought that Spitfire had I known what the parts were like. This Tiger Moth, on the other hand, I would actually be less inclined because I think it's way, way, way above my skill level at the moment. I'm not saying it won't ever be. Anyway, that's the Tiger Moth. God, how long have we been streaming? So I've done 3 kits. So can you imagine if I don't know how many kits I'm going to get with this 172 box, but it's going to be more than 4, isn't it? Right, guys, I apologize in advance. This isn't going to fit on the desk. So it's so big. We've got 4 bits of sellotape, 1 on each side. And I forgot to have a look at the side of the box first. I know this is a very new kit, isn't it? It can't be more than a year or 2 old, unless time has really flown. This is another thing I like. They tell you what paints you need on the outside of the box. I can remember as a kid going into model shops and saying, I want this kit, but do you mind if I open it so that I can see what paints I need? So I'm actually having to open kits before I bought them so that I can then buy. What I used to do, I used to look at maybe the first 4 or 5 stages and look at what paints I need to complete the first 4 or 5 stages, because then I can take it home and I can actually get on with it. Nothing worse than getting home, opening the kit. I can't do stage 1 because I haven't got the kits. So having that kit call out, that color call out on the outside is good. Right, guys, you're not going to be able to see. Here we go. Model Design and Tooling 2020. Decal Schemes and Back Design 2020. Now, when I actually come to build these on my channel, I will be going through the Scale Mates page and I'll show you some of the research I've done. I'm not doing it now because we're just having a quick look. So if you watch my build video on this and you're watching it today, you're going to end up seeing all of this twice. Right, tell you what I'm going to do. I've got a big overhead camera. There we go. You know, that's not too bad. Just that's how messy my desk is. I'm ever so sorry, guys. I am in the process of cleaning it up. And you've just discovered my guilty pleasure. These are I love. Normally on payday, I get a box of those macarons. We've got a BP garage on the way home from work, but it's got a whoa. Oh my God. Check out that wingspan, guys. That's 1:72 scale. That is mind-blowing. I mean, I know this is a big kit. I know that the actual aircraft is big, but Jesus Christ, that's how wide it's going to be. Wow. Wow. Do you know what? I would say this is good value for money at 75 quid, let alone 50. The instruction is a book. Look at that, guys. That's the instructions. So let's have a look at the decal. Now, do you know what? Where I was saying there's a lot of decals for the size of the kit, I think maybe there's not a lot of decals for the size of the kit. I mean, it is what it is. You can't make up decals that didn't exist. Now that's better, isn't it? That's so much better. I'd be happy to use that decal. These ones I quite like. These are low res markings, aren't they? But I think, which one am I going to go for? I'm going for the one with the camouflage because I just think that's REF. But yeah, they look really nice decal. There's a little bit of damage been taken, but I don't think there's much to worry about there. Are you okay with this angle, guys? I know it really shows off the mess on my desk. So there's 143 stages to complete this. Can you imagine me doing this one video, one stage? Oh, here you go. There's my versions. So that's the version I'm not going to do. Although you can see this, the nose at the Avro Heritage Museum. I think that's a little bit too much. There we go. That's the version I'm going to do. XM594. Yeah. So I'm doing those ones. Yeah. So yeah. Because I still haven't done an REF camouflage pattern yet. Can you believe that? And we've got our white. We've got our white underneath. So, and we've got another. Oh, so this is the positioning of the, or maybe there is a lot of decals after all. Is this the same? No, it's not. I don't think it is. But there's a lot of decals, so maybe I was wrong when I said not many decals, given the size of it. So I'm not going to go through this like I did on the other one, but nice standard Airfix. You know, love them or hate them, you know what you're getting. Note for the A scheme, cut and file. Oh no, I've gone and picked a scheme where I'm going to have to cut bits away. So, but again, I don't think anyone would even consider thinking this is a beginner kit. So yeah, right, okay. I'm going to switch the camera because I don't really like showing off my messy desk. Like I say, I am trying to tidy. So let's see what we can get in. So those wings are amazing, and look, they're all bagged up. Individual sprues in per bag. Do you mind if I don't cut the bag open? Look at the size of that sprue. That's huge. These sprues are the size of the box. Wow. Where's the fuselage? Oh, of course, it's all incorporated into the wings, isn't it? But I really like that. Can you see the detail through the bag, guys? Oh, Spirit's trying to eat my cable. I am really, really happy with that. To be honest with you, I'm happy with all the kits. What we've got to decide is it worth buying an Airfix mystery box? One of the questions that I'm going to be asking Matt when I see him next, I think I already know the answer, but will each box, what is the box number? What do you mean the A12011 box? And I'll tell you one other thing I'm quite excited for. I've just recently, one of my other trusted suppliers is a company called MJR Hobbies. He's got a Facebook page, and he does cheap kits. That's where I got the Sea King from. And he started running some courses. Now, although I would never, before this course, I would, just bear with me, I'm just changing the camera. Is it this one? There we go. That's me. Before this course, I wouldn't consider myself a beginner airbrusher, but I wouldn't have considered myself. Ow! Your claws are sharp. That's, I know you're just playing, but they're sharp. Sorry, guys. I just got attacked by a tiny kitten that may not make it to her first birthday, the rate she's going. Yeah, I wouldn't consider myself intermediate, but I think it's fair to say I'm not a beginner. So I went on this airbrush course, and anyone who's experienced with airbrushing will laugh at me. I didn't know how to do fine detail, and I found out that all it is you've got to turn that air pressure down. And I've ended up buying a new air compressor, and they come with these two. These are cheap airbrushes. They're cheap Chinese ones, but it's not. Obviously, a good airbrush is better than a cheap airbrush, but your skill at using the airbrush is probably more. And I would say now I'm better with those Chinese airbrushes than some absolute beginners are with a £400 airbrush. Is that a fair statement? But with an aeroplane that big, oh, that's going to be some airbrushing, isn't it? That's going to be a do or die. Excuse me. Yeah, so I'm ever so sorry, Matt. I do apologize. That's my other supplier that I use. One of the things I need to speak to Matt about this. I want to throw it his idea, throw it his way. Is sorry, guys. I apologize. I'm going to smoke. I'm going to have a cigarette. Yes, I know. I'm trying to give up. Vulcan A12011. Let me double check because I'm not good with memory with numbers. This is why it took me 6 months to remember my staff number at work. Alpha 12011. That's the one. Yeah. So what MJR does, he's a lovely guy, and he said to me when I first sort of got involved with him, he says, "Oh, what we do is we can send you out a kit, and we'll give you, depends on the value, a couple of months to pay for it. And then obviously as we trust you more, we will increase that level." And I said, please don't do that, for the reason being that things happen in my life. You know, I could be paying £50 a month, and then I fall ill and don't earn any money for a month, or I could lose my job and not earn any money for 6 months. And then suddenly I'm in debt and I owe you money because I'm not earning. I said, and he says, well, we do a savings plan. And what I do is I pay him £10 every single week. Standing order goes out on the day I get paid. I don't even miss it. And I think I had £200 saved up. And that's how I got the Hornet and the Sea King. And I've still got a balance left. And I just wish there were more companies that could do that. I'm guessing Tomcatters couldn't, because I know the way he makes his money is he's got the Facebook group and he does trade shows. So I know how hard trade shows are, because you're spending, if you do a Saturday and a Sunday trade show, you're spending all of Friday traveling down and setting up, and you're spending Monday unsetting and coming back. That Friday and the Monday is an awful lot of work, and you're not making a single penny. And if you haven't got the kits that people want, you're not making much money on Saturday and Sunday as well. And I remember there was one show he went to, he had a car problem. He never made it to the show. So that's his whole weekend gone. But that's obviously, if you do a trade show right, you can make a lot of money. And I think that's how he makes most of his money. And this is the thing about retail, isn't it? The less time something spends on your shelf, the more money you're making. Something sits on the shelf for 6 months, it's just not worth having it. Right, so are we happy with those prices? 12, 12, 45, 24, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 7, 8, 9. So I make that £93 worth of kits for £75. I did get it for a little bit less because, like I say, I'm a club member, but that's about almost £20 of free value I've got. However, the only kits that I would consider buying before the unboxing was the Vulcan and the Tiger Moth. So that's 2 kits with a total value of £69. So to be absolutely fair and honest, yes, I've got value out of that Airfix. I've got 2 kits that I would buy for less money than it would cost me to buy them separately, and they've thrown in 2 kits for free. Yeah, so right, so that means that Friday and Saturday Tomcatters has got a tough thing to beat. You got to beat, well, no, actually, no, I think we can see where this is going to go, because I say I've got £69 worth of kits that I actually wanted for 60. I think it was about £64 I paid with the discount. Couldn't have been that much. 68. I think, well, I've got a few pennies off a kit. But that 12, 45, 24, is that Airfix prices, or is that get them from somewhere else prices? Yeah, I don't know. I think I've been robbed. Maybe I have been robbed. Because, yeah, if you knock 10% off that, that's about 60 quid. 60. Yeah, I think I've got about 80 quid's worth of kits there for £75, which has cost me less. Found it on Scale, mate. I put it in the wish list. Right, so yeah, okay. I think doing rough maths, not working out scientifically, I think I'm benefiting by a few pennies, maybe a few pounds, by buying this mystery box. However, you've also got to factor in the fact that it is a mystery box. If you now go and buy a mystery box now on Airfix, you could find no Vulcan, no Tiger Moth. You could end up with a Spitfire and the Hawks. And I'm upset. I am upset about them including the Hawks, because by joining the Airfix Club, you are buying some, see if I can get this word right, some exclusivity. Because I've parted with my £20, I'm getting something that you can't have. And now it turns out you can have it. So if 50 of you non-members go out and buy the mystery box, you could end up with a first and last Hawk. And I don't think that's actually fair. And I'm going to bring the red veins out when I say that. I do not think that's fair. Do you agree or disagree with me on that one? But then the Vulcan has really softened the blow. So I know why they put that Vulcan in now, because it was revealed today that they've got the Black Buck Raid one. So obviously once that Black Buck Raid one comes out, no one's going to want that Vulcan unless they want 2 Vulcans. If you only want one, you're probably going to buy. It's like if you buy a Lancaster, would you buy the prototype Lancaster or would you buy the Dam Busters version? Obviously, most people go for the Dam Busters because there's a famous story behind it. So I think they're getting rid of kits that they're not going to be able to shift or can't shift. You know, I can't see club members buying the Hawk because they've already got it. They got it for free. Well, they didn't get it for free. They paid the 20 quid. So really, you got that Spitfire. Now, why are they getting rid of the Spitfire? Are they bringing a new tooling out? Oh, if they do retoolings of all of these, I'm going to be raw. But saying that, I've got four good kits. So I don't know. My jury's out. What do you guys think? Do you think based on your opinions and your likes of various aircraft, do you think I've got a great deal? Do you think I've just got a deal, or do you think I've got a rough deal? I think I'm all right. I'll go around about the break even. But yeah, Smith Speeds, it is not fair. Maybe you could write to Airfix. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to write to Airfix, and I'm going to say, I did an unboxing on my YouTube channel. You've got to get that in there. I don't like these people that go, I'm a YouTube influencer. Could you give me this meal for free? And then I will influence people to come into your restaurant. Right. Dominique has just changed the dynamics a little bit. So Dominique cannot become a member. He lives in the Netherlands, and then I have import costs. But there is a lot to be had here. So, but don't they do an overseas version of the club? Don't you pay like a premium for it? I don't know. So maybe that's one of the benefits of being able to buy the kits, because, you know, I would be inclined to say to my friends who paint from the Netherlands, chuck us some money and I'll buy the kit for you and I'll send it to you. So Lord Peter Webster, it's took away the privilege of membership now, so they will put other members only kits in mystery boxes. But I think I would be happy with the cost. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I haven't built it, but it looks a nice kit. It does. I think all four of them look nice kits, and I think my favorite is, actually, I'm a little bit scared of that Vulcan, because I know it was my mum's favorite aircraft. Where I grew up in Norwich, we used to live the other side of Norwich Airport, and the opposite side to us is where they've got the aviation museum, and they've got a static one there. And every time we used to go to Cromer for a day out, you could see it. But they've had is it the last flying Vulcan? They've had that taken off from Norwich Airport on many, many occasions. And Mum used to love sitting on the doorstep and watching it. And so I would feel morally obliged to do a very, very good job of it. So that's why it would scare me a little bit. Smith Speeds, the Avro on the other site is 45, so £30 amongst the other three kits. 75 sounds good. Yeah. I know, is it Moss? He's a bit of an Airfix fanboy, isn't he? And I would like to bet that I don't know if he minds building kits that he's already built, but I would bet that 3 of those kits he's already owning. So he might get 1 kit, in which case it probably wouldn't be so good value for him. Guys, if anyone wants to see the size of Spirit, I was shocked when I came home. She is huge, very, very huge. And she purrs a lot, don't you? You love to purr. She's very, very... You know, I have these two sleeping on me now. It's so nice. I roll over in the night and I'm like, oh, hello. Yeah, Moss is the biggest Airfix fanboy. I'm not even gonna... I mean, I'm not... Fluff bundle. Yeah, I mean, I'm not... I think if I was a fan of any brand, it would probably be Tamiya. But that's mainly because of my level. You know, Tamiyas pretty much build themselves, don't they? And for someone like me, that's quite useful. But I done a kit recently, a Hobby Boss, and it was so hard to make because the parts weren't fitting. There were seam lines, and I must have used a quarter of a tube of filler on it. But you know what? Actually, I really enjoyed it. Once I'd done it, I'm like, yeah, I looked at it and I went, yeah, I did that. I made that. And so maybe Tamiyas aren't the kits for me. Maybe I want kits with lots of problems. So I am playing with her tail, not anything else, by the way, guys. So she's doing doing a rubby lots of fuss thing now. But in a minute, here we go. She's got the claws out now. Right. Do you know what? Actually, this is something that I did think about. I wonder if Airfix can see you are a club member. So they put a club kit in the box, but non-club members. Yeah, that's a sound theory. But then why would they put a kit into the box that they on purpose that they knew I already owned? Surely majority of people wouldn't appreciate that. Why have I got... Sorry, bear with me a sec. I'm just going to stop that share. So I'm looking at my... Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've got my settings that my name gets shoved up. Why have I put my name down as Penny Blake Overhead? Penny's Pit Stop Overhead. That's strange, isn't it? Oh, well. Have you ever heard of Rhinefield Models? They make really good models, but more tanks than vehicles. No, I've not heard of them. But do you know what? I'm going to write that down. Oh, Dominique. Oh, fortunately, it's back at the hotel. I found a company. When I went to the Scottish show, where was the Scottish show? Was it Perth? Oh, I really loved that show. It was huge, and I spent way. I think I spent £250 on the very first stall that I went to. It was just books, loads of books, and I think I went with about £400 or £500, and I planned on coming home with nothing but kits and not a single penny to my name. And I spent over half my money on books, which is, but I got some really nice stuff there. And again, the theory was, you know the story, right? You have a massive stash. What do you call it? Stash of doom. And then you go, that's it. I've got enough kits there to last me till the next Scottish show. And I've bought so many more kits since then. And I've only opened about 2 or 3 of them. I've got so many good ideas ready to go. Probably taking on a lot more than I can chew, but hey, I'll give it a go. And if I fluff it all up, then I fluff it all up. But the only thing I hope for as a scale modeler is that if I fluff something up, I learn from it. And each model that I make, I hope is a little bit better than the others. Right, guys, I don't think I can get much more waffle out of all of this. Oh, I've just given away one of my videos that's coming up. Right, so what's happening on the channel? Eddie Stobart 7172 came out today. Tomorrow is the Gauntlet. Saturday, sorry, just hiding that up. Now all of you are going to be going back in the video to try and get a glimpse of whatever it was that I just put away. I have got a coming soon video coming out on Saturday, 6 o'clock. That will be that will be before Saturday's stream. There is a new build video coming out. Saturday Scale Models is officially starting. I will be picking up. Basically, I'm going to divide it into 2, and don't criticize me for this. 1 week is going to be 48 scale day. The next week is going to be not 48 scale, so everything else. So the Mosquito is coming back on the 7th of October. Now, because we've got the coming soon video on the 16th of September and the issue 1 on the 30th, we've got nothing on the 23rd. So I have found, actually it's an Airfix kit, but it's a sort of kit that you will all scoff at. Most of you will probably scoff at. And I just did it for fun, just to see what it was like. And You might be surprised at the results. I quite liked it, but that's coming out next Saturday. Now let's say the mosquito is coming out. Now, the format that I'm going to do my videos is when I am building something, I will give you a choice of 5 kits for not the next build, but the build after. Because what happens is while you're watching a series of videos, I'm working on the next build. So you're voting on the one after. So I'll have kits 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Each video you will vote which one you want. So you can vote as many times as you want for the same kit. You can only vote once per video. And then whichever kit gets the most votes will become my next kit. The one with the least votes will be removed. And then once I do the next build, I will add 2 more kits and then the vote will start again. There will be 2 different votes going on, one for the 48 scale, one for the not 48. Now, there isn't a voting for the mosquito because I have promised someone. Oh, right. Let me just address this. Penny, you're not a fan of Spitfire, but I see big books. Right. So these are the Harshette Builder Spitfire. My rooms, you see that there's a big mess there, but down there is a 1 to 18th scale metal Spitfire, which I still haven't finished yet. And you get binders every now and again. So these have got all the magazines in. But what I've been doing, I mean, these are Spitfire binders, but what I've done is I've put a cover on and I actually use them as, so this is research notes. This is where I keep my instructions. There's another one there. I put all my paint conversion charts in. So if I need to find something, I just go bang, rather than bits of paper everywhere. Maybe that's part of the reason why I'm not a Spitfire fan. Once you built a 1 to 18 scale Spitfire, do you need a 1 to 72 scale Spitfire? But yeah, so let me find. I think I've got one here. Yes, I have. Right. So this is what we're building on the part work. This is a particular Polish guy's aircraft. This is actually the one. This is probably a bad example. This is the remote control. Now, what I've done, I have bought the 1 to 48 scale Tamiya Spitfire. I bought a couple of aftermarket parts, but I bought some aftermarket decals, and I have bought those decals. So it's actually going to be, that's better. The 1 to 48 scale Spitfire is actually going to be a 1 to 4 scale replica of the 1 to 18 scale. Well, does that work out right? 1632. Yeah, it's about 1 to 3. But yeah, it's going to be a replica of the model, if that makes any sense. Right, so yeah, so with the 1 to 48 scale, I'm currently doing the mosquito. I'll finish that. I promised a young lad that he wants me to do a Navy aircraft, so I'm doing the Sea Harrier. I really need to organise my boxes. Can't find the box for it, but I'm doing the Sea Harrier. Because I'm not offering you the vote for the third kit, I've just decided, sod it, I'm going to do the C2 Greyhound. So that's going to be the third 1 to 48 scale. The fourth one onwards is going to be down to you guys. Obviously, I will influence it a little bit because I will put the kits in for the voting. Now, with regards to the not 1 to 48 scale, I'm doing a model that's coming out next week. Then after that, I'll go into detail with this story when I actually come to do it. But there's a lovely lady at work, and she gives me some nice shifts at work, so I do respect her fully. She is a West Ham fan. West Ham Football Club. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Now I had a bit of a joke, and it's evolved from this joke. So West Ham won some European trophy last season, whichever trophy it was. I know it wasn't like the Champions League, but and I said obviously they won that. There's also this thing that West Ham fans claim they won the World Cup because their best players in the England team were West Ham. And I said, and we were talking about scale model aircraft, and she said it's weird. And I said, well, if you did it. Anyway, then it evolved into, well, look, you've won a European trophy. I said, you claim you won the World Cup. I said, I might as well paint a Spitfire in West Ham colours, and then you can claim you won World War II. And that's what it's evolved into. So I said, I'm going to make you a Spitfire, and I'm going to give it to you. It's going to be in West Ham colours. Then I looked for a Spitfire, and I wanted one with a base on it because I want her to be able to put it on her desk. And the only one that I could find was a double kit. You're going to love this. It's a Hawk and a Spitfire. So I'm going to be doing the Hawk and the Spitfire in West Ham colours. So that is going to be my second not 1:48 scale build. And then the third one is going to be up to you guys. I'll give you a spoiler if you really want. I'm giving you a choice between a Tiger One, a Firefly, a part-built US wrecker truck, and I can't remember what the other two choices are. They're not amazing kits, but they're kits. And then whichever kits lose and are taken out of the pile, I'm going to be doing them in the form of lives, because I'm going to do at least one live show a week, starting from a couple of weeks. And these losing kits are going to be the ones that I'm going to be working on while I'm doing the live, because I feel with lives, it's not really about the kit so much as it's about the company you keep. So, you know, I could be doing a model of anything. I know, like with Dominique's shows, I love what he does, but I'm not really there for the kits that he's making. I'm there for the good chat, and that's why I love the live shows. So I could be working on a Tiger One, and if it's a simple kit, I'll get through it quicker. And then the beauty of it is that I can actually do. Sometimes I'll sit here. I mean, I've got so much to do. I've got a new part work coming out on Fridays. I've got one issue to build because I've done issue 1, but I've still got issue 2 to do. Now I might be sitting there going, I need to get that done, but I'm just really not in the mood for it. And then I might want to work on something, but I'm like, I really don't want to record it. I just can't be bothered. I just want to get on and just do something for me. So that's why I ended up doing that Sky Raider. So I'll do something. These kits that I'm doing on live, I can just pick a little bit up and do a bit off camera. And then next time I do a live, I'll say, right, guys, this is what I've done since the last live. And I don't think it'll really matter because people come into the lives for the chat. Right, guys, so that's it. So, yeah, that's where the channel is. The fire truck's up and running. That's getting good feedback. And I've actually finished it because I've just sat there and I just recorded everything. And that will actually be completed on the 20th of November. Oh, Dominic, you don't do live streams. Is there any particular reason for that? Is it time, for example? I know sometimes people struggle with time. Yeah, so Tuesday, Warhammers have kicked in. You haven't seen any painting yet because I think the one that's come out Tuesday is another pure build, but I can tell you issue 4 is a painting issue. So get really excited about that. But Warhammer, because they're all small pieces, that's something I can take to the hotel with me and I can build. So Eddie Stobart's going. I've just this week recorded 4 more issues because they came while I was in London, so I could only do them this week. And I just realised this week is Eddie Stobart week, so my Eddie Stobarts generally arrive on a Friday, but sometimes they could be here as early as Monday. So if they arrive on Friday, I might actually get those built before I go. So the other one, Infinity Gauntlet, yeah, I'm enjoying that. The latest issues of those are really nice. And like I say, new part work Friday and scale models on sorry guys, on Saturday. Sunday, I'm kind of reserving that for, I've got channel updates and I'm working on, this is a copy, an absolute dirty copy of what somebody else does. Gary stuff, he does Monday Matters and he does News of the Week. And I'm thinking about doing something similar. It's ever so simple to do. I look on Scale Mates. It comes up with a hot kits and new kits, and you can kind of semi-filter it to your favorite scales. And I often have a little look on there, and I'm like, oh, that looks interesting, and that looks nice, and that looks weird. And yeah, I might sort of have a weekly or fortnightly chat about things that I've discovered in the week, and not just about scale models but part works. Because I've got a problem now that as of the 9th of October, I'll be doing 5 part works a week. So if another exciting part work comes out, where am I going to put it? In fact, there is a part work come out that I've signed up for, and that's the U-boat. I don't know if I'm going to regret that, because I'm pretty sure I can buy a 1:48 scale U-boat. Is it Revel do with the U-boat? And it comes with clear panels, so you can actually show off what's going on in the inside, which is pretty much the same as the Harshette version is going to do. And the Harshette version is going to be about 1,400 quid. And I have to build it at their speed, whereas a Revel model, I could get it all done. I don't know if I could do it in a day, but I could sit there for a week and just do nothing but U-boat. So will I continue that part work? I don't know. So Dominic says, no, I don't stream live when my girlfriend is home because she talks through it. Dominic, surely you're not saying women talk a lot. Haha, at Smith Beads. That's why I'm building a new PC to go into my outdoor hobby room so I can do lives without the noise. Yeah, see, I'm really lucky because this room is just hobby room. And my lodger has faults, but he's very, very respectful. Last night I was filming something, and I was at a stage where I was filming knowing that I was going to be speeding up. So it didn't matter if I talked over it because I was just going to be removing the audio anyway. And he came in from the gym and I said, hi, I'm just recording, but I'm not recording any sound. And he's like sitting there talking to me while I'm building it. But another time I'll go like that as he comes in and I'll go filming. And then he'll just not say a word. The only thing that's different now is because I've got the cats, I do leave the craft room door open so they can come in and out. But there's a little cushion on the floor. Sometimes they just sit there. Yeah, give the cat some fuss when I come in, and then they just get on with their own thing. So Dominic says, I hate having everything in my living room. I don't have extra room. I'm mainly building my living room, but the doll's house is becoming a struggle now. Yeah, that's the trouble with some of these part works. They start off small and innocent, and then all of a sudden they evolve into something massive. Isn't there a new one coming out? Is it a Disney something similar to the doll's house? because that Doll's House has kind of took everyone by surprise, isn't it? When it came out, I just went, Doll's House, really? And so many people are building it that you wouldn't think were into dolls' houses, and they say it's a really enjoyable build. And I do partly regret not subscribing to it. So Mark says, feel out of place now as I don't model build. Right. Two things to say to you. First of all, my channel isn't about model building. It's about crafts. So, you know, I might do a live one day and I might be doing a scale model aircraft. Someone else might be doing a scratch build boat. Someone else might be doing a diamond painting. It's really all about sharing hobbies. But the other thing that I want to say to you is your Eiffel Tower, your matchstick Eiffel Tower, that was absolutely amazing. And it's quite inspiring. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag now. I will be doing one matchstick model, and it will be coming onto my channel at some point. And that's because of you, Mark. I have done matchstick models years ago when I was a kid, back when I wasn't really very good at much stuff. So I'm not totally new. But because of you, matchstick models will be coming to my channel. So don't feel out of place. Don't feel out of place at all. Lord Pete Webb, so I still have 68 issues of Titanic to get through, yet the Doll's House is my favorite build. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes they take you by surprise, don't they? I still don't know whether to do that Titanic. See, I can buy the 1 to 200 scale kit model, and I think I could do a good job of it. And I know there's a few problems with this Titanic where the detail just isn't really very good. There are solutions to it, but as an out of the magazine build, it's not perfect. I could buy the scale model kit and the super detail kit for about half the price of the Hachette one, and I would be confident doing an okay job. So should I buy the part work or should I do the scale mod? Same with the Bismarck. Now I know with the part works you get all the fizz bang whiz lights and sounds and things, but to be honest with you, out of everybody watching this now who's done part works, once you finish the part work and then you have a play with all of the bells and whistles and stuff, once it's gone, say 2 or 3 months since you finished building it, how often do you actually switch it on and play with it? So is the lights and the moving turrets and the smoke coming out or whatever, is it really that important? You know, or is it just you put it on the shelf and there it sits, and when your neighbors come round they go, oh, that's fantastic. And you know, it's like I ain't switched my bus on for years. So Lord Pete Webb said, I got the Doll's House for my wife to build, but no way she could build it now, so I enjoy it. Yeah, I think that's an excuse, isn't it? You want to build a doll's house, don't you? And you've just gone, oh no, it's for my wife. But yeah, so I now enjoy it and I get Marie to do the frustrating parts. Fair enough. I used to talk about part work builds as where I think they're very good is for people to do with their grandchildren. But I think the truth of it is we do these part works because we love them. I try to restrict myself to either something that I had a link with me, something that I'm interested in, or something that I think I could learn from. I did the Fiat 500 because I just love the car, and the fact that it's nostalgia. It comes with a caravan, and it's got a nodding dog in the back. I mean, the nodding dog actually sold it for me. The Ecto one I've done because I was a fan of the films. Not an expert, but a fan. What was one that I did? The Spitfire obviously is an iconic World War II aircraft. The Terminator, there's a bit of nostalgia there. The Infinity Gauntlet is quite Eddie Stowe. The Eddie Stobart's a great example. I'm not a trucker. I'm not an expert on truck. I can't even drive trucks. I know of the Eddie Stobart name. I've wrestled with him on the M1 so many times in the evenings. But there's a lot to learn there, and I'm learning as I build, so I'm getting a lot out of that. And the same with the fire truck. I mean, that's more of an iconic model. And then obviously the scale model kits. A lot of these kits that I've bought. I mean, I'm really into the US Navy, so anything US Navy, I'm on it. There's a few little kits that I will be buying for certain reasons. I want the F111, and I want to do that in RAF Lakenheath colours because A, that's where I was born, and I want to do the Libya Raiders. Anything from RAF Lakenheath I'll do. The Jaguar from 54 Squadron based at Coltshall, that I want to do because that was what they had at Coltshall when I used to go there with my stepdad. And I've been in a Jaguar. This is one of these little privileges of having a stepfather working in the Air Force. The Sea King. Have I got it? I haven't got it here. When Airfix released the 1:48 scale Spitfire, I was on it, and I think I was one of the first ones to mention it with MJR. I want it. Here's the money. Here's extra money. I want it. Send it out. Normally with MJR, I will buy a few kits together because it just reduces the cost of the postage. But the Chipmunk was like, I want this one kit. I want you to send it out on its own. As soon as it comes in, I want it. I want to be the first person in the UK to touch that model because that's what we used to fly in cadets. Some kits I bought just because I like the look of them. And then maybe if I'm buying something I like the look of, maybe I will learn something from it. Here's an interesting one I've got. Just because it's a bit different. This is the Heinkel HE111H6, but it's not what you would think. It's the Motorhead version. Now, apparently what they'd done when they brought the album Bomber out, they'd bought an Airfix Heinkel HE111 and just painted it black, and then that's for their album artwork. And what Airfix have done, it's the 40th anniversary of that album coming out. They've now got the model of the model, if that makes sense. And it's just a bog standard. Oh, I've actually still got I've got the invoice, £25. It's a second-hand kit. And check that out for a decal sheet. That's the whole decals. And it's just, there's the paint scheme. It's black. So in terms of skill and pushing your limits, it's really not much of a challenge, is it? The challenge is in gluing it together. But that has pushed me to do a bit of research on the album, and then I've now listened to the songs on the album, so I've got something out of it by buying something I didn't know much about, and so that's another reason for modeling. Right, I criticize for building expensive toys, but I have to ask them if they could build them. Very doubtful. They are not easy as people make out they are. Right, love minis. I love truck and car kits more than airplanes, but learning to like airplanes. Do you know what? I am complete opposite love minis. I'm really not into trucks and cars. Well, I quite like the trucks. I like the older trucks. I like the American trucks with the big sticky out nose. And one thing I learned, why they will never come to England, they have different laws on lengths and things like that. And American trucks will never come to the UK because in the US, they're trucking from state to state. So they're on these long straight roads. So they have longer trucks, longer trailers. They have sleeper bit. They're pretty much like a hotel in the back of their truck, because they're going on these long drives that take days and days. Now, you would never get those trucks around the UK roads. So UK trucks are shorter. They have that stubby nose to keep it as short as they can. But it's little things like that that you pick up. But I'm not into cars. Another thing that I'm not into is tanks. And someone said to go out and buy some little tanks. That's why I was rather excited when Lidl's did these kits, and I picked up the Sherman Firefly and the Tiger One. I mean, I could go out and I could buy a Tiger a tank kit for 40, 50, 60 quid. What happens if halfway through I think actually this isn't for me? So these little kits that have cost me 6, 7 quid, they're really good. But yeah, I'm learning to because also the skills you need for an aeroplane might be different from the skills you need for a car. Cars, obviously, they want to be very clean and nice. And it's all different skills you're having to learn. So yeah, I'm a little bit opposite to you. I like aeroplanes, but I'm learning to like other stuff. I have a 1 to 40 Tamiya RC Grand Haulier with every upgrade. Oh, that sounds really good. You don't video any of your builds like that, do you, Peter? I think you should. And then, it's like you might make some bad videos, but if you look at my videos now, which aren't exactly BBC quality, but you compare them to my earlier videos, I think there is improvement. Right, Love Mini says, yeah, my brother-in-law took a 1969 Chevy truck to engine and found he couldn't use it that much, and people kept telling him how big truck it was. Yeah, it's so it's all to do with the laws in the UK and the US. They're all different and stuff like that. But yeah, one thing I've learned actually, especially being on YouTube, and obviously it opens up more modelers to you. You can learn to respect other people making stuff, even if it's not your cup of tea. This is why I said about these unboxings are going to be heavily opinionated. I know there'll be people out there going, how dare she say she doesn't like Spitfires. It's my opinion, but I'd like to bet there's some people out there going, Falcon Bomber? Nah, not my cup of tea. Oh, did I show you this the other week? Last week? That's a kit I'm not quite excited about. Got this on eBay. It's the Mistel 2. I've got the Mistel 1 as well. But this looks like a really horrible old kit. It's made by Dragon. Is that the same Dragon that makes the 1 to 6 scale SAS Jeep? Because I'll change my mind on them if it does, but it just looks so old. Actually, I'll tell you how old it is. You'll love this. If I can get into it. This made me laugh because he's actually put some aftermarket decals in. And then when you see the original, look, this is the instructions. Like, they're as yellow as anything. But I could just see them. Does that explain why he's put aftermarket decals in? I'm not even going to attempt to try and do anything with those decals. There's nothing left of them. You can rub them away. So, whereas these decals look lovely. So, but actually it doesn't look an awful kit. Given how old it is, it looks, oh, They've actually marked the parts. Wow, that's going to take some work. But yeah, so that's going to be a fun kit. But I mean, look at the instruction manual. It's terrible. That's not an Airfix kit, is it? Definitely not. But it looks like I'll be able to follow them. Oh, hello. My lovely lodge has just walked in. So I'm all right. How are you? You have a good day? Right. So yeah, so that's a kit I'm going to do. So the next couple of days, I'm going to be doing a lot of work. Well, I've got to do a lot of work in my house. I've got to get things organized. I now need to sort my kits into 4 piles. I need 1 to 72 scale that are ready, you know, have been picked to go on YouTube. 1 to 72 that are not yet in the boat, the stash, and then do the same with the 1 to 72. When I say 1 to 72, I mean not 48 scale. And then the same with the 48 scale. So they're going to go there, then they're going to work there. Oh, I've just seen more kits. I think half of this room is full up with kits. I just buy kits. I know I'm not unusual when I say that. Right, so let me just catch up on the chat. It's never quiet here, like I said to Dom. I'm building a new super PC to use in my hobby room so I can film my builds, as I have some amazing stuff to build. Yeah, and oh, a 700 size 2-meter rotor Airwolf helicopter. I am so jealous. I am going to be buying the 1 to 48 scale Airwolf because I got to. The other one, I've seen it before, and that's is it the Moto Guzzi that they used to ride on Chips? Does anyone remember the program Chips? I'm getting that. I want that. That was my absolute favorite program as a kid. Right, Lord Peter says, I'm going to go now. Penny, getting tired. Nice chatting with you all. Good night. Yeah, I'm going shortly as well. Dominique says, haha, my living room is also full of models. 350. Oh, I'm not that bad, actually. Oh, hello, birthday boy. How are you? Did you miss out on the fish? He's a bit silly because when I had Nymeria, he used to eat faster than her, and then he'd push her out of the way and then eat her food. With Spirit, he's complete opposite. He'll be eating his food, and then Spirit will push him out of the way, and then he'll just sit back and look, which makes me wonder how he got so fat. He's really fat, look. Oh, he's not as fat as he was, but he's got this little bit on his belly, and it used to wobble. As he walks, it used to wobble. So you're on a diet, aren't you? The only problem is you like the diet food more than the regular food. I have just 142 kits of different materials, plastic, wood, or metal. Yeah, okay. I haven't got a very big stash then. Really? I don't think I've got 100. Well, I've probably got more than I think I've got. But yeah, I haven't got a massive stash. But I do love every model I've got. I've got a couple that were given to me. I've got some that are repair jobs. Funnily enough, here's one. I bought that for a Gulf War group build because I had nothing Gulf War-y. So I bought that. I thought that'd be a cheap way of getting a Gulf War build. And the group build finished about a year ago. And I haven't even opened the box. In fact, look, oh no, I did open the box. Yeah, I always cut the box open. I normally have a look at it. So I've got 2 tornadoes now. But one tornado it's kind of oh, here we go. This is my club box with the first and last hawk in it. So I know that's been opened, but oh, and I got my stickers, and I can stick my stickers all over the cutting mat, and I knew I had one. One of my boxes that I have at the hotel, because I got one of these, I think you get one every year, and I drilled a hole in the handle and I threaded this through, so it just looks a bit different. And I thought I'll just cover them all with stickers, and then obviously you get your passport, which I reckon I might have got enough tokens at least for a series 1 or 2 kit, not far off a series 3 or 4 kit. But I want to get me 60 tokens and pick up a series. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get me 60 tokens, and I'm gonna buy something completely and utterly different, a ship, something that's just got something about it that is maybe new to me. You're knocking everything over because you're a fat boy, aren't you? And you weigh a ton. You weigh definitely more than a sack of potatoes. But it's a shame we can't hear our viewers, because then I could say to them, right, guys, you're going to have to sing happy birthday now. Right, guys, so I am going to leave it there. So to summarize, Airfix mystery box, yeah, I'm okay with it. How okay? I will try and get into the camera. Thank you. You're flicking everything with your tail. Everything's going flying. Why don't you come? That's it. Come down onto my lap. That's it. Good boy. Come on then. Come on. He's reaching out to me. That's it. Good boy. And then you can get tucked down there. Lovely. Yeah, so I'm okay. I'm okay with that Airfix box. I wouldn't go out and rush and buy one now, because I reckon if I bought another one now, I'd get at least 3 kits the same. But we'll see on Friday and Saturday just how good the Airfix box is. I've only bought the medium box, but Matt does a large box for 150, which is twice the price, and a £200 mystery box. And I did say to him, on the strength of the other one, I spent 45 quid on a mystery box, got 2 kits, and one of those kits retails for more than the cost of the box. And I said it was just a little bit of a pity that out of the 3 kits, 2 of them I've already got. I've already got the OVA Bronco by ICM, and the Mustang, I've got the Edward, is it Profi kit? And I'm scared of it because it's got silver, and I've not ever done silver before. So actually, by giving me the Airfix Mustang, it's something that I can practice on, and don't really care then if it goes wrong, because it's practically cost me nothing. But the OV10 is brilliant, because I can do a Marines version. Right, guys, so yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you've got something out of this. I hope that you've either, having watched this, if you end up going, yes, the Airfix kit mystery box is definitely for me, or the mystery box is not for me, that's the result. So I'll leave you with David JM's comment, which is thank you for a good night. And if I don't see you before, I will see you on Friday, when we will be unboxing the Tomcatters 1/72 scale kit. Now I'm about to hit the end stream button. I'm quite new to using this melody. It should play an outro and then automatically stop. Let's see what happens. 3, 2, 1, goodbye. Oh, play outro and end stream.